Hello students, today I am taking up the short and long questions of the chapter number 4, Landscape of the Soul, which I have just now selected for you, important ones. Short answered questions. The answer of each question should be in 40 words. Question number 1, which I have taken. Who was Wu Daozi? What did he paint for the emperor? Wu Daozi कौन थे? उन्होंने सम्राट के लिए क्या पेंट किया? Wu Daozi was a famous Chinese painter. He lived in 8th century. His last painting was a landscape. It was to be painted for Emperor Zhuangzong, the Chinese, that is Chinese one, palace. The painting was to decorate the palace wall. The emperor looked at it and admired its wonderful scenery, forests, scenes that forests, mountains, waterfalls, and flying birds of the painting. Question 2. What happened when Wu Daozi clapped his hands? Wu Daozi showed a cave in the landscape and told the emperor that a spirit lived there. The landscape his and in the landscape he showed to the emperor. Then he clapped his hands. The door of the cave opened. Wu Daozi entered the cave. The door closed behind him. Before the astonished emperor could utter a word, the painting had disappeared from the wall. The painter was never seen again in the world. Question 3. Describe and contrast the feature of the Chinese and the European arts and landscapes. A answer is a classical Chinese landscape is not meant to reproduce an actual view. The artist does not paint a world as it is. A Chinese landscape is not real one and one can enter it from any point. Whereas the European painter wants you to borrow his eyes. European painter चाहता है कि वो पेंटिंग को उसकी ही माइंड से यानी आंखों से देखे. His art reflects delicate realism. Chinese landscape is an inner one, a spiritual and conceptual space. Question 4. What is the concept of shan shui? What do mountain and water represent in shan shui? The Chinese concept of art is basically spiritual. This concept is expressed as shan shui. Literally, it means mountain and water. Both these two elements, mountain and water, represent the word landscape. The mountain is yang, it reaches vertically towards heaven. It is warm and masculine. The water is yin, it is horizontal, fluid, moist, and cool. It is the receptive and feminine, means female in gender aspect. The interaction of both yang and yin completes the landscape. Now, question 4. What is the importance of man in the landscape? Answer is mind finds a fundamental role in that space between heaven and earth. He becomes the medium of communication. It is between both poles of the universe. His presence is essential. He is not dwarfed, means shortened Bonavanna by the lofty peaks. Lofty means high. He is actually the eye of the landscape. Now to be continued on the next page. The one more question 6. What is the third element on the middle void? VOID. Answer: no doubt. The interaction of yang and yin represents the word landscape. There is also the third element or the middle void. Generally, it is overlooked. The middle void can be compared to the yogic practice of pranayam, breath in रिटेन ब्रेथ आउट, सांस को अंदर लेना, रोकना और सांस बाहर फेंकना, निकालना. द सस्पेंशन ऑफ ब्रेथ इज द वाइड. In art, it is represented by the white unpainted space in Chinese landscape. Now I have taken one important long answered question. Answer should be given 150 words. What is the story of Quentin Matisse's? That how is this story from Flanders most representative of Western painting? So this belongs to European one, Quentin Matisse's. Quentin Matisse's lived in Antwerp. Antwerp comes either in Holland or Netherlands. He was a master blacksmith, this native of Flanders. Flanders, I told you, this is the philosopher of Western, fell in love with a painter's daughter. The father of the girl would not accept him as his son in law. They belonged to different because they belonged to different professions. One day, Quentin Matisses quietly entered the painter's studio. He painted a fly on the latest panel. The fly was painted with such delicate realism. जो मक्खी थी वो इस तरह से पेंट की थी मेटिसिस ने कि बिल्कुल असली दिखाई दी. That it appeared to be real one. The painter himself was outwitted. मात खा गया painter, father of the daughter. To see it, he tried to is he on that one accept. So that is he decided to get his daughters married to Matisses, and the painter himself was outwitted one, as I have told you, it was before, and he tried, means painter tried to sweat it away before he knew the reality. Sweat means मक्खी को हटाना चाहता था. The painter was highly impressed. Quentin was at once admitted as an apprentice in his studio. He married his beloved to him. Matisse went on to become one of the most famous painters of his age. So, the picture of Quentin, is the most representative of Western painting. A European painter tries to achieve a perfect illusionistic likeness, means भ्रम पैदा करने वाली समानता. The fly painted by Matisse was a lifelike. A European landscape is a real landscape. The story describes the concept of Western figurative painting. Now, this is all about this chapter ended, and next day or tomorrow I will take the poem "The Voice of the Rain." Thank you.